is CTV News.
Protect Canadian jobs! Protect Canadian jobs! Protect.
Tempers flaring at a Windsor rally, company officials blocking workers in and the union firing back. Good evening, I'm Travis Fortnum. More from that rally in just a moment. But first, Windsor police investigating tonight in the city's core. Officers called to the area of Lincoln Road and Riverside Drive East around 6 o'clock this evening. Police not sharing further details, only saying it remains an active scene. For updates as this story develops, head to our website, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Elsewhere on the roads, school buses have been rolling for a week now, but students who relied on Windsor's School Bus Extras program have had to find new ways to get to classes. CTV's Robert Lothian joins me with more, including a chat with one mom who looked into how exactly the change is affecting kids. Robert.
Yeah, Travis, hoping to get a better sense of student trips, Darcy Renault traded in her wheels for a bus pass. She's been traveling Windsor Transit to different high schools and taking to social media to highlight the challenge for teens.
So I am here at the bus stop.
For the past week, Windsor's Darcy Renault has been turning back the clock, spending mornings and evenings taking buses to Windsor high schools.
So I decided to put myself in their shoes and try to get to school in time, and then also try to get home from school.
Renault set out to highlight the loss of school bus extras, specific routes previously used to ease travel for students. Trips included traveling to and from Holy Names and Vincent Massey.
So 2 buses. I had to walk a kilometer from the bus stop, and it took me in total about an hour and 5 minutes to get back.
Renault, whose son begins high school at Massey next year, says students are facing longer rides, full buses, and multiple transfers.
We want them to go to school. They need our help to get to school. And in fact, we're making it worse for them compared to others.
School bus extras were a victim of 2025 city budget cuts. Instead, Windsor added 20,000 new transit hours across the region.
Administration is monitoring it very, very carefully. And in terms of the feedback from the principals, yes, it's definitely an adjustment. It's definitely an adjustment for students.
On the East Side, Ward 7 councillor Angelo Marignani says the lack of school extras is causing more congestion.
So parents are now, because they don't have that option with the school bus, they are now driving their kids to school, which is causing more problems in front of our already congested schools.
Marignani says he's hearing from St. Joe's principal about parents stopping along the road to drop students off rather than wait and nail longer lineups.
Hopefully there will be some enforcements tomorrow and next week, and the hope of that is so that people don't get into bad habits at the beginning of the season.
For Renault, there's fear as the temperature drops, students will only have more to worry about.
So to leave kids in this position potentially into the winter really worries me.
As the school year continues on, Councillor Joanne Geniak says they will continue monitoring this matter of student transportation. Adding at the end of the day, an earlier start to the day may just be the new reality for students taking the bus. Travis.
Thank you very much, Robert. That's Robert Lothian. Meantime, Transit Windsor says it will not be entering St. Clair College campuses should full-time staff start their strike tonight, but officials say classes will continue. A total of 10,000 employees at 24 colleges across the province are poised to strike starting at midnight if an agreement isn't reached between the College Employer Council and OPSU. At last check, the union says the situation remains fluid. Back to Titan Tool and Die now. Company officials preventing union supporters from leaving that rally out front of their Windsor factory. CTV's Michelle Molesky has that story.
Protect Canadian jobs! Protect Canadian jobs!
An hour-long rally Wednesday in support of these Titan Tool and Die workers.
We come here every day with our work boots in our vehicles, waiting to go back to work.
They haven't worked stamping auto parts since August 8th and were locked out as of August 11th.
They've never really mentioned tariffs here. You know what they've mentioned the most? What they've mentioned here is they need us to give them our money to run their business.
We have built the walls for this family and for this community. Shame on them.
This employer shipped equipment in the middle of the night across the border, trying to relocate our work there, and we're laying it on the line here now.
At the end of the rally, supporters walked up Charles Street towards subsidiary Futura Tool, and that's where the tone turned. Union supporters were blocked from leaving by 4 people who the union says work for Titan or Futura.
No comments at all? Will any of you confirm that it worked for the company?
Oh, we know that, rock solid.
For more than an hour, the company officials stood silently.
Shame on you! Shame on you!
While workers yelled out insults and accusations.
Remember that guy? The one you said had something to do with the union, so you gave him papers and they make him leave?
Windsor police were on scene for the entire rally and blockade. Officers told all involved to keep it peaceful or they would intervene. The union even urged their members to stay calm and keep the focus on the real issue at hand.
With our discussion with this company all along, they have told us they intend to produce a product here in this location. But their action is contrary to what they're saying to us.
After an hour, the company officials abruptly walked away. Just moments after a transport truck parked at Futura started up. The union members followed and set up a new blockade at the Futura site.
Apparently, every time I come to Windsor, we have a dust-up. This is the thing.
Michelle Molesky, CTV News.
And at today's rally, Unifor reps talking Diageo. More than 200 employees there represented by the union, which is now calling for Ontario's premier to do more than dump Crown Royal. After Diageo announced plans to close the Amherstburg bottling facility, Local 200 President John Dagnolo pointing out they also bottle other brands.
And you can pour a bottle of liquor out for show, but you got to take those things off the rack. I know. That's when you know you need business.
Turning stateside now, conservative activist Charlie Kirk assassinated on a Utah college campus. We want to warn our viewers some of the details and witness accounts here might be disturbing. Here's ABC's Rena Roy.
Conservative activist Charlie Kirk dead at 31 years old after authorities say he was shot while speaking at Utah Valley University this afternoon. Video shows the moments before Kirk was shot. We're pausing it before the gunfire.
Just one shot straight into Charlie Kirk.
And I watched a fountain of blood come out of the side of his neck like a water fountain.
Panic and chaos in the crowd as people ran for cover.
Anyone could just walk in. It was at probably the worst place in campus because there's so many areas where anyone can just walk in.
Witnesses say Kirk was talking about gun violence when he was shot.
Everyone got down. Everyone was so scared.
Kirk is a massive voice in the conservative movement as the founder and CEO of Turning Point USA, an influential conservative youth organization. He's often sparked heated debates on college campuses across the country. His rhetoric has often been closely aligned with President Trump.
I had a brief conversation with the president over the phone. He sounded quite upset, quite down about this. He told me it's horrific. It's one of the most horrific things I've ever seen.
Both the ATF and FBI are responding. The FBI saying they're closely monitoring the situation and that agents are on the ground there. Politicians on both sides of the aisle denouncing politically motivated violence.
This is detestable, what's happened. Political violence has become all too common in American society, and this is not who we are.
Multiple senior sources inside the West Wing saying they are in shock and disbelief. Sources also tell ABC News the president has postponed a dinner he had planned for this evening. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Back here at home, a Windsor police dog is credited with catching a break-in suspect overnight. Officers called to a business on Lewis Avenue just before midnight last night. They say when they got there, a man took off on a bike, but the K9 tracked him down hiding on Glengarry. The 49-year-old suspect faces multiple charges. You can find the full list on our website. And in Chatham-Kent, police seized $161,000 worth of drugs and made multiple arrests on Tuesday. Police executed a search warrant at a Chatham residence and searched a rental vehicle. They say they found a gun, fentanyl, cocaine, meth, and heroin. 4 people now facing 11 charges. One person was taken to hospital with life-threatening injuries after 2 vehicles collided in Kingsville last night, one of the vehicles striking a house. The crash happened at 10 p.m. Tuesday night near County Roads 34 and 18. The driver and passengers in the second vehicle were not injured. Now, earlier this week, the Premier calling on cities to get rid of automated speed cameras. What does that mean for Windsor, where they're being rolled out? CTV's Chris Campbell takes a look.
The Premier calls speed cameras nothing more than a cash grab, even as cities like Toronto expand their use in school and community safety zones.
They should take out those cameras, all of them. If you want to slow down traffic at school, you put the big, huge signs, big flashing lights, crossing area, people will slow down. This is nothing but a tax grab.
Here in Windsor, Ward 4 Councillor Mark McKenzie says the city has been preparing to roll them out.
We pushed for it at committee, we pushed it at council, and it all passed. And so administration has been in the process of implementing these. But again, now with this announcement from the Premier, I'm not sure where it's going to sit.
Windsor also uses red light cameras, but McKenzie admits they don't seem to have changed driver behavior.
People are still going through red lights. They don't even care. They don't even care that the red light cameras are there. I know people who've gotten 3 or 4 red light camera tickets.
While speaking on the Dan McDonald show on AM 800, McKenzie said the goal isn't to rake in money, but to keep neighborhoods safe.
And we're going to be reasonable. We're not going to set it at 1 or 2 over the speed limit to try to use this as a cash grab, because we don't want to use it as a cash grab. We just want to make our neighborhoods safer.
Residents we spoke with today had mixed opinions.
Speed cameras are good, yeah. It will make people control and go on the average speed. That's it.
I definitely agree with the speed cameras. I was hit by a speeding car before, and I think they would be a fantastic idea. However, I think they would work even better in addition to extra policing.
But if to put 5 cameras up is just taken from the society, and if it's in a school zone, I believe that it should be funded to the school zone or something to the charity or community.
I want the speed things. Right, I want them because with being disabled, it's the part of if a car is running fast, I don't have a chance to get out of their way.
For now, Windsor's speed camera rollout is stalled until city officials know if the Premier's threat will actually become law.
No, it's not a tax grab. You know, he's got to change his mind.
Chris Campbell, CTV News.
CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald has your full weather details coming up in 2 minutes' time, and still ahead. All your latest local sports scores and headlines from the past week. Stay with us. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald joins me now with a look at the weather. Gary, give me some good news for tomorrow.
Some good news for you, Travis, my friend. Some sunshine and still warm temperatures that will be slightly above seasonal. Not bad. A continuation of that ridge of high pressure that's keeping any inclement weather at bay. Now, a couple of things to point out with respects to what we would normally see at this time of the year. Obviously, our average closer to 24 degrees. We've been in that 25, 26 range. Humidity has not been much of an issue. So tomorrow's 25 expected across much of southwestern Ontario will feel like about 26 to 28. Comfortable. Now, we are technically in a drought situation. If you look at your lawns, obviously distressed plants and vegetation, we're seeing some of that change over in terms of the color, not because of cool temperatures, we're not there yet, obviously, but because the plants, the vegetation, your grass, for example, is distressed. There just hasn't been a lot of moisture, so what ends up happening, we see the reaction, the chlorophyll starts to shut down within the cells of those plants and, of course, flora. Just like us, fauna, animals and organisms, we are in need of constant hydration. So that's what we're seeing around us. And some people have said, oh, look, fall is here. No, fall's not here. We still have some more summer to press on about. 11 degrees through the overnight. Cool, but not cool enough to really instigate that fall-like transition. We're going to have to wait a few weeks for that. Clear and beautiful, light breeze out of the northeast, sustained at around 10 kilometers per hour, with gusts about 15. Tomorrow is sunny for the morning through the midday afternoon. I'm anticipating a high of about 25 in Windsor. I think Chatham-Kent might see even 26. It could feel like 28, and that's at peak, say around 3:30, 4 o'clock. So sunny tomorrow. UV's considered high, 7 on the UV index. Anything around 6, 7, 8 and higher is considered high. So remember to protect exposed skin with your sunblock. Fair weather on Friday, 26. Pardon me. And then Saturday, some showers, much needed rain moving into the region. Sunday, rains continue into the morning and then fairer through the afternoon, 24, followed by 23, 25, 27. We'll actually see a bit of a warm up again next week. Still have some summer left to enjoy.
Thank you, Gary. And earlier in the summer, CTV News told you the story of a homeowner's dream turned nightmare. In continuing her coverage, CTV's Stephanie Mazzotti takes a look now at a nonprofit agency created to protect consumers who purchase newly constructed homes.
This is absolutely unacceptable, and they have to clean up their act.
NDP MPP critic Tom Rakocevic has one message to home builders. Don't build a home if you aren't going to do it safely.
Ontarians deserve better. Families deserve better.
Teresa Massaroni is a homeowner who filed multiple complaints about the construction of her home. She reported issues like heating and cooling problems and faulty kitchen cabinets to Tarion, Ontario's home warranty program. In a statement sent to CTV News, Tarion says they provide a backstop for warranties in cases where builders are unable or unwilling to meet their obligations. The goal to ensure warranty coverage on the purchase of a new home. But Massaroni says she didn't get the results.
I don't care if you pay $300,000 or you pay $1 million for your house. You paid for a house that you assume would be safe and everything in it. So they should be done accordingly.
In 2019, an Auditor General's report found over a 4-year period, almost 10,000 requests from consumers were dismissed because of restrictive deadlines, and that Tarion was spending millions of dollars on bonuses for executives, but not paying attention to disputes raised by homebuyers.
We kept sending them emails and they kept dismissing them.
So in 2021, the Home Construction Regulatory Authority was created. It oversees builder licensing and runs an online builder directory for consumers to research builders.
People should have the opportunity to go do some research, look at the history of the builder that they're buying from.
Rakocevic says problems didn't stop after the HCRA was created. He claims when you visit the online directory, all claims and lawsuits are not being reported.
There are certainly builders out there that might have lists of problems, infractions, whatnot, where they've had to pay out hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. But if you go online, perhaps some of them have a clean record, and probably in all cases, it is being underreported.
In an email sent to CTV News, the HCRA says it receives claims warranty data from Tarion, and that information is what is posted on the Ontario Builder Directory. They go on to say the new Home Construction Licensing Act governs the types of information we are authorized to disclose publicly. As such, details on individual claims, the total number of claims, and or any civil suits are not available on the directory. But they confirm they do have the authority to issue a warning, place conditions on a license, or suspend or revoke a license in the most serious cases. A statement from the Minister of Public and Business Service Delivery and Procurements, MPP Stephen Crawford, says our government will continue to strengthen consumer protection for the people of Ontario. With alleged claims going unreported, Rakocevic is urging all homeowners facing problems and deficiencies left behind by a builder to email their MPP and the Office of the Auditor General of Ontario.
This has to be fixed.
Stephanie Mazzotti, CTV News.
The U.S. Supreme Court says it will decide on the legality of the Trump administration's global tariffs as early as November. The Justice Department is appealing a lower court ruling that U.S. President Donald Trump overstepped his authority when he imposed tariffs, justifying it under a federal law meant for emergencies. The case could have major political and financial implications, with trillions of dollars in customs duties impacted over the next few decades. Strength in basic materials and energy stocks helped Canada's main stock index finish higher today. In Toronto, the TSX gained 116 points, while in New York, the Dow lost 220, and the Nasdaq added 7. The Canadian dollar fell 0.1 cent, and on commodity markets, gold lost 20 cents an ounce, and oil gained $1 a barrel.
spot where it all began. 89X is back. Windsor's alternative. 89X.
Taking a look at local sports, the St. Clair Saints continue to dominate the Ontario Football Conference. The Saints ran away with Saturday's game, beating Hamilton 68-7. The team heads to the Sioux this weekend to take on the Cougars. Meantime, the Lancers. A big-time hit by Tilbury's Dylan Simpson. However, it was the Guelph Griffins who made big plays to erase a 17-7 second-half deficit. They went on to win 31-17. The Lancers host McMaster this Saturday night. The Windsor Spitfires have a pair of home games coming up this weekend. Saturday night against the Kitchener Rangers and Sunday afternoon versus Flint. Today, they made a trade, picking up forward Cole Dubowski from the Barrie Colts for an 11th round draft pick. And fans say Johnny McLaughlin's going to be a great pick after the team got him in the draft. Eight Spitz players have gone off to the NHL training camps now. A 9th headed out tomorrow, with camp starting Friday. Captain Liam Greentree is looking forward to his second appearance in Los Angeles.
I think the biggest thing every camp is just coming in and, making sure they know that, I put the work in over the summer and, I made changes to make my game better. And, as long as they know I'm putting in the work and, I'm trying to get better for them, it's, that's what is most important.
And when you think of sports, maybe you don't think of bowling so much, but perhaps you should. CTV's Bob Belichico introduces us to Mike Snow, who's so good at the game, he just claimed a 4th national title.
If Mike Snow could please come up on the approach on lane 9 and 10.
Mike Snow at Super Bowl lanes in Forest Glade, unaware of what is about to happen.
Mike is going to attempt to fix the sensor.
Nothing needed to be fixed. Mike was there to receive a national award as the Canadian 10-Pin Federation's top senior bowler in Canada.
Pretty nice, yeah, very good. Yeah, I credit a lot of the work that I do in Michigan. They have lots of tournaments over there. It really helps build the resume.
Snow says it's a tough award to win. First, a bowler has to make the national team, which he has done for the past 7 years. The 10-Pin Federation then takes into account all of the tournaments played domestically and internationally before naming a winner.
He's fun to be around. He's fun on the lanes, but at the same time, he is just such a superior bowler to all of us around here. So it's fun to watch that.
The trophy is a victory on the lanes, but his big win is on the sidelines as a strong supporter of youth bowling.
He started the scholarship tournaments. Kids are making money to go to school just by bowling.
This center, Rose Bowl, and the other centers, and plus we have the tournaments where we pay out scholarships in all our tournaments.
Everybody that coaches youth sports knows the feeling. It's about giving back to the future, inspiring them. Young bowlers come up and do great things. Not only in the sport, but in the community. Makes it worthwhile.
Bob Belichico, CTV News.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
As promised, your favorite meteorologist and mine, Gary Archibald, back with one more look at the weather.
Travis, I think you're going to love tomorrow. I think Friday looks good. The weekend, not as great. Temperatures, though, are still in the mid-20s as we head towards Saturday and Sunday. Tomorrow's fair, sunny, beautiful, gorgeous outside if you have the day off. And I can only imagine that the links will be busy. Lots of golfers enjoying this, and so too boaters on the Detroit River and Lake St. Clair. Fair on Friday, 26, still looks beautiful. Saturday's cloudy, and I think we're going to see rain intermittently Saturday and then Sunday morning before things clear up. 24 followed by 23 Monday. Tuesday up to 25, 27, even some models, 28, 29 next Wednesday. So the warmth continues. Enjoy a good night's rest. And of course, we'll talk weather and all things news-wise tomorrow. Have yourselves a good night. Travis?
Thanks so much, Gary. Finally tonight, a slice of true Canadiana, a family who was out for a float on the river when they stumbled on a rescue mission involving the country's most iconic animal. CTV's Adam Zawatsky picks up the story.
with that.
Connor Belanger and his mom Liz don't need to look at pictures from their recent tubing trip to remember the sound they'll never forget.
Kind of high-pitched squeaking sound that I've never heard before.
Liz was moving down the river too fast to see where it was coming from, but Connor was far enough behind to spot something struggling in the rapids and reached out to help.
Slowly, kind of clawed its way up into my palm, with his front hefts, and then I scooped it up.
But it wasn't until it was safely in his arms that Connor saw its tiny tail and realized he'd saved a baby beaver.
It felt awesome, and I felt super protective of it immediately.
And he just held on and let us kind of look. And
After it stopped breathing heavily, the baby started falling asleep in Connor's arms. And for the next hour, until they reached their pickup point downriver, they cuddled close.
Just has so much empathy for animals.
When they got to shore, they marked the specific location where they'd found the beaver on a map and started reaching out for someone official to help the baby they'd named Chip.
She would open her little eyes, look around, and then snuggle back in, just take care of me.
The family took turns cradling the baby as they drove an hour and a half out of their way to the North Island Wildlife Rescue Association.
It was really good that they found it when they did.
Joanna Smith says the baby was just a week old and likely swept out of her den before floating too far downriver for her family to find her.
Without Mom, there's no way she would have survived.
But after a few weeks in care, the beaver, now renamed Little Timber, is thriving.
Oh, she's a busy beaver.
Well, the beaver is expected to be released back into the wild in about 18 months. Liz and Connor will likely be looking back fondly on their time with Little Timber forever.
And such a Canadiana experience. We rescued a baby beaver.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Saanich.
So cute, and what could be more Canadian than that? That's our newscast for tonight. Thanks so much for spending part of your evening with us. We'll see you tomorrow.